गावः तन्त्या इव यन्त्रिताः गावस्तन्त्येव यन्त्रिताः हरन्ति बलिम् आयत्तः हरन्ति बलिम् आयत्तास् तस्मै मुख्याय ते नमः तस्मै मुख्याय ते नमः यस्य वाचा प्रजा सर्वा गावस्तन्त्येव यन्त्रिताः हरन्ति बलिम् आयत्तास् तस्मै मुख्याय ते नमः यस्य वाचा प्रजा सर्वा गावस्तन्त्येव यन्त्रिताः हरन्ति बलिम् आयत्तास् तस्मै मुख्याय ते नमः Yashya, of whom, Vacha, by the Vedic directions, Prajaha, living entities, Sarvaha, all, Gavaha, bulls, Tantya, by a rope, Iva, yes, Yantritaha, are directed, Haranti, offer, take away, Balim, presentation, ingredients for worship. Ayattaha, under control. Tasmai, unto him. Mukhyaya, unto the chief person. Te, unto you. Namaha, respectful obeisances. Translation and purport by Jagadguru Srila Prabhupada. All the living entities within the universe are conducted by the Vedic directions, as a bull is directed by the rope attached to its nose. No one can violate the rules laid down in the Vedic literatures. To the chief person who has contributed the Vedas, we offer our respects. Please repeat the translation. All living entities within the universe are conducted by the Vedic directions. As a bull is directed by the rope attached to its nose. No one can violate the rules laid down in the Vedic literatures. To the chief person who has contributed the Vedas, we offer our respect. Purport by Srila Prabhupada. The Vedic literatures are the laws of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. One cannot violate the injunctions given in the Vedic literatures any more than one can violate the state laws. Any living creature who wants real benefit in life must act according to the directions of the Vedic literature. The conditioned souls who have come to this material world for material sense gratification are regulated by the injunctions of the Vedic literature. Sense gratification is just like salt. One cannot take too much or too little, but one must take some salt in order to make one's foodstuff palatable. Those conditioned souls who have come to this material world should utilize their senses according to the direction of the Vedic literature. Otherwise, they will put into a more miserable condition of life. No human being or demigod can enact laws like those of the Vedic literature because the Vedic regulations are prescribed by the Supreme Lord. Tajansti Bhakti Vedanta Purport. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshuram Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Prashtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swamin Nitinamine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharini निर्विशेषा शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधरा श्रीवासादि गौरभक्तवृंदा हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे. So we see here in the context, the demigods are praying to Lord Brahma. So before putting forward their request, they are glorifying Lord Brahma by his qualities. So in this verse they are specifically saying how Brahma is equipped with Vedic knowledge, what does he does, and how that Vedic knowledge will support the living entities which are created in this material world. Yashya vacha praja sarva, of whose the Vedic directions, the living entities, all living entities have to follow this Vedic literatures. Directions have to come from Vedas. Gava stantyayava yantritaha, just as a bull is controlled by a rope around its nose, similarly all living entities are controlled by Vedic literatures, instructions from Vedic literatures. Haranti balim ayattaha, so no one can violate the rules laid down in the Vedic literatures. So everybody has to oblige by that system. Everybody are under control. Tasmai Mukhyaya Te Namaha. Unto the one, the chief person, Mukhyaya, in this material world, he is the first person, Mukhyaya, he is the in charge, administrator of this material world. Te Namaha, I offer my respectful obeisances. So here Brahma's position has been enumerated as the one who has contributed Vedas. Did Brahma create these Vedas? No. Vedas were created by the Supreme Lord. But what was Brahma's role in this Vedic literatures? He was the first person to whom these Vedic literatures have been explained to. So he maintained that Vedic literatures. Like for example, whenever there is a dissolution at the night of Brahma, all living entities will go to sleep. Sometimes it is said that the Brahma went into ecstasy, and out of ecstasy the Vedic literatures fell down from his mouth. They fell down into the water. There were some demons who wanted to take away that Vedic literature and they wanted to control. At that point, Brahma became surprised and he prayed to the Lord for deliverance of Vedic literatures. Lord took up the position of Hayagriva. He went into the water, killed the demon, delivered that Vedic literatures back to Brahma. This is one style. One more style is when Matsya Avatar, also a similar perspective. Once Vedic literatures fell down into the water, so Lord took up the form of a fish to deliver the Vedic literatures to Brahma. See, Brahma is the custodian of Vedic literatures. Because different creations, different days of Brahma, people come and go. So there will be some time where there will be no creatures. So he will be maintaining that Vedic literatures. That's why it is said that who has contributed the Vedas for the living entities, they are like guideline principles for all the living entities. Now when the purport Prabhupada explains what is the context here, can anyone violate these Vedic injunctions? Can anybody go beyond these Vedic perspectives? One cannot violate the injunctions any more than one cannot violate the state laws. So they are like guidelines, you cannot violate. If you violate, immediately punishment will be there. Like traffic signal. If you violate, what will happen? Immediately challan will come to us. A repeated offender, our license might be cancelled, vehicle might be seized. So it depends upon our seriousity of our offense, punishment will increase. So similarly, if we keep violating Vedic principles, punishment will be there. What kind of punishment? Any living entity who wants real benefit in life must act according to the direction of the Vedic literatures. So this is like a manual, a guidance factor. So everybody who wants the real interest, what is the real interest of going back home, back to Godhead? Then how Vedas will direct us? If you study the Vedas, the essence is Vedasya sarve rahameva vedyaha. Krishna says, by studying all the Vedas, you should come to this one conclusion. Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. When you understand that conclusion, automatically you engage in his devotional service. So no human being or demigod can enact laws like those of Vedic literature, because Vedic regulations are prescribed by the Supreme Lord. So it is not a one man's decision. Nobody can create their own laws. They are the laws which were created by the Lord, because when he created a system, his system has a flow. Like if you are a software engineer or any project engineer, when you design a building or when you design a project, you have an idea how this project has to be utilized. The same thing when Lord created this universe, the Vedic literatures are meant for, in that perspective, guiding living entities. The conditioned souls who have come to this material world for sense gratification are regulated by the injunctions of the Vedic literature. If you live openly, people will be doing all sorts of sinful tendencies, so Vedas will regulate them. How much to do, what to do. So analogy is sense gratification, because everybody is aspiring for enjoyment in this material world through senses. And this sense gratification, anything too much excess is dangerous to one's spiritual life. In the so perspective, in the second chapter it says, Bhogaishwarya prasaktanam taya bharata chetasam. One who is interested in bhoga and aishwarya, enjoyment and opulence, spiritual knowledge does not get into his head. It becomes very difficult for him to practice or understand itself what these Vedic instructions are. So they are guidance for us. But problem is there are different people of different mentalities. So the Vedic literatures are also divided into different parts. Karma Kandiya, those who are interested in attaining immediate benefits. Those who are inquisitive knowledge, for them Jnana Kanda is there. For those who are interested in devotional service, Upasana Kanda is there. Bhakti. So according to gradation and the capacity of the person, different instructions have been given to different degrees. So when Brahma, in Bhagavatam there is one perspective, in second canto there is one verse where Brahma, it is said that he 3 times scrutinizingly studied the Vedas from cover to cover. Now if you have to understand a subject, Brahma gives with an example. If you have to read a book, Prabhupada says cover to cover. First till last, we have to study 3 times. Then you will have an idea of what is there in that book. So it said, attentively and scrutinizingly, he studied the Vedas 3 times. And he came to conclusion, Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So by studying Vedic literatures. So when he is matured in his understanding, in the 10th canto, we see Brahma Vimohan Leela. He acted a pastime where he wanted to steal away, or he wanted to test whether Lord Krishna is the Supreme Lord or not. So why that idea came in his head? What might be the issue? So there are different perceptions for this perspective. So Brahma, when living it, before Krishna Avatara, Mother Earth and Lord Brahma and all the demigods went to Vaikuntha. Jai Shri Radha Govinda Ki. So Mother Earth came with a proposal that she has been overburdened. She wanted the relief. Brahma said, only Lord Vishnu can relieve you. So they all went to Shvetadvipa. They offered prayers to the Lord. They communicated their intention by offering prayers. Lord said, I know the purpose for what you have come here. Very soon I will be descending in this material world in the family of Vasudeva. So all of you demigods have to take birth and you have to support me in my mission. So at that time, except 2 demigods, everybody followed that order. Only 2 did not follow that order, mostly. Who are the 2 people? One is Brahma, second one is Indra. That's why they became confused in Krishna's position. So they could not understand, because they decried following the order. They could not understand Krishna's position. They wanted to test Krishna. Brahma wanted to test Krishna. Indra wanted to test Krishna. This is one reason. The second reason was, all Gokulavasis, like all associates of Mother Yashoda, they all had an ardent desire that Krishna be their son. If Krishna was their son, how they could nicely take care of, like how Mother Yashoda was treating nice Krishna like that. So with their ardent desire, they were anticipating one day Krishna will become their son. Now to fulfill the desire, Krishna enacted this pastime through Brahma, where Brahma will steal away all the calves and cowherd boys, so that Krishna will expand himself. And Krishna went to their house and fulfilled their desire of becoming their son and taking service from them. This is one more perspective. Then if that is the case, Brahma is a person of material world. His Maya is of material Maya. How can he control the eternal associates of the Lord who are in Yoga Maya? Can material Maya overpower Yoga Maya? So that's the perspective there. So how many kinds of sets of boys and calves were there? 1 set, 2 sets, 3 sets. in that entire pastime. 3 sets were there. The original boys and calves, who Krishna had hid elsewhere, and he created a replica, Maya boys and Maya calves, which Brahma took away. And Krishna himself expanded as a third set as these calves and boys. So in the entire set there are three sets of that boys and calves. So when you read intricately only, then we will get understand this. Oh, so many people are there. How can material Maya take over spiritual Maya? Our philosophy doesn't match there. So that's why in the yesterday's class also Prabhu was reading there. Maya Balakaha, Maya Arbakaha. They were all created by Krishna's Maya. Like how Maya Sita was created so that Ravana could kidnap. So Krishna created a set of all these boys and calves so that Brahma could kidnap. And he could fulfill the desire of all the parents of Vrindavan. So when he understood his mistake, Brahma, he came to this Lord Krishna and he begged forgiveness and he offered various prayers. In his understanding, he explains what is Krishna's position and how, what is his desire, what is his request from Lord Krishna. He says, Aho ati danya vrajago ramanyaha stanyamritam pitva ativate muda yasham vivo vassatara atmaja atmana yat trupyate adyapi na chalam advaraha. Aho ati danyaha. How wonderful it is, the most wonderful thing. Vrajago ramanyaha, the cows and the mothers of Vrindavana. How wonderful it is, because why? Stanya amritam pitam. Krishna became calves and boys and drank the milk, which is nectar. From both the cows he drank and from the mothers he drank. Stanya amritam pitam ativame buddha. Why did he, and how, what was his expression when he drank? Ativame buddha. He became excessively satisfied, it seems, by drinking that milk. Ativame muda. Then Yasham Vibho, oh my dear, all great one, Vibho. Yasham Vassatara Atmaja Atmana. He became himself as Vassatara, as the number of calves, and Atmajaha, and all the boys. He himself has expanded into all the calves and all the boys to fulfill the desire of drinking that milk. Yat trupyate adyapi na chalam advaraha. Even by offering Vedic literatures or by offering Vedic prayers, Lord is not satisfied in this endeavor, as much as he is being served by all his devotees. So Vedic prayers are all like officially offering some prayers. There is, love is very minimum in that. So Lord becomes not satisfied by that. So he says, all Vedic literatures performed from time immemorial to the present day, Advaraha Adyapi, have not given you as much satisfaction as you drank the milk from the mothers. Yat trupyate na cha alam. And further he continues. Aho bhagyam, what a most fortunate thing it is. Nanda Gropa Vajaukasam, the Nanda Maharaj and all the inhabitants of the cowherd family of Raja. Yan Mitram Paramanandam, he became their friend. Yan Mitram Paramanandam, he gave the highest happiness. Parama Anandam. Purnam, he is that complete. Brahma Sanatanam, he is that absolute personality of Godhead who became their friend and who stayed among them. Tatburi bhagyam ihajanma kim api atavyam yad gokale api katamangri rajo abhishekam yad jeevitam tu nikilam bhagavan mukundaha tvadhyapi yad pada rajaha shruti mrugyam eva. He says, Tadburi bhagyam ihajanma. If there is an opportunity for me, it will be a greatest fortune if I take birth somewhere in Vrindavan. In some form. In Vrindavan, if I can take birth, Tad Bhuri Janma. What? Kimapi Atavyam Yad Gokale Api. Somewhere in the forest of Vrindavan. Somewhere I have to take birth in Gokale. And then what? Katama Angri Rajobhishekam. And my head bathed by dust falling from the lotus feet of its residents. I wanted the Vrajaduli of all the residents on my head. Then, Ya Nikilam Jeevitam tu Bhagavan Mukundaha. Their entire life and soul is the Supreme Lord. Bhagavan Mukundaha is Nikilam, their heart and soul. Tu Advapi Yat Pada Rajaha Shruti Mrugyam Eva. The dust of whose feet is still being searched for in the Vedic mantras. So theoretically, if you study with these Vedic mantras, you can never understand Krishna's position. So Brahma himself is certifying. So what is the conclusion? What we have to come by studying all this Vedic literature is we have to surrender to the Supreme Lord and accept his shelter. If you become theoretical, we become superficial. So this is the problem with Mayavadi perspective. They study Vedanta, but they study only theoretical perspective. They cannot understand the practical details. When Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was in Prayag, Varanasi, where he met Prakashananda Saraswati, he is the leader of Mayavadi sannyasis. He had 60,000 followers. So when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came there, he was instructing Sanatana Goswami. He instructed him for 2 months. So at that time, he was staying in the house of Tapan Mishra, Chandrasekhara. There were 2 associates of the Lord. So whenever Chaitanya Mahaprabhu used to go for Sankirtan outside, so people used to laugh at him. Are sannyasi, why are you dancing and chanting like a madman? You are following with the crazy people, they are all along with you. They could not understand the position of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So when they were commenting like that, the devotees were feeling very much pained at heart. They could not bear this thing. So they went to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and they updated Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So it is becoming unbearable for us. They are treating you not with respect. They are defaming you. So in that context was what happened. Iti madhya Chandrasekhara Mishra Tapana Dukihana Prabhupaya Kaile Nivedana. So they went to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and they offered their request to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Kateka Shuniba Prabhu Tomara Nindana Napari Sahite Ebe Chadiba Jivana. We could not anymore tolerate hearing offenses towards you. We cannot stay with our life. We want to quit our life. Tomara Nindaya Yata Sanyasi Ragana Sunita Napari Fate Hrudaya Shravana. So Mayavadis, they are criticizing your holiness. All the sannyasis, Mayavadi sannyasis. Yata Sanyasi Ragana, all the sannyasis, Mayavadi sannyasis, they are criticizing your glorious. Sunite Napari, we cannot tolerate. Fate Hrudaya Shravana. By hearing that, our hearts are breaking. Iha Suni Rahe Prabhu Ishat Hasiya. By hearing that, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu slightly smiled. Say Kale Eka Vipra Milila Asiya. At that time, one Brahmana came to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to meet him. Asi Nivedana Kare Charana Dariya. He held the lotus feet of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and he put forward a request. Eka Vastu Magon Deha Prasanna Hoya. Become satisfied. I am begging for you for one request. Sakala Sanyasi Muni Kainu Nimantrana Tumi Yadi Aisha Purna Haya Moramana. I have invited all the sannyasis at my house to have prasadam. If you will come, my life will be successful. Na yaha sannyasi gosti iha ami jani mora anugraha kara nimantranamani. I know you does not go where the sannyasis are there, you does not go there. But please accept my request. Mora anugraha kara. Please be compassionate upon me. Please be merciful unto me and accept my request. Prabhu hasi nimantrana kaila angikara. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu laughed and he accepted this invitation. Sannyasira Krupalagi Yei Bhangi Tanhara. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu enacted this pastime so that he want to deliver all the sannyasis at one shot. Say Vipra Janena Prabhu Nayana Kara Gare Tanhara Preranaya Tanre Atyagraha Kare. So Brahmana knew that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu never went to anyone's else's house. Yet due to inspiration from the Lord, he earnestly requested him to accept this invitation. Lord created the situation that Brahmana come and request him. Aradina Gela Prabhu Sei Vipra Bhavane. Next day morning, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu went to their house. Dekilena Vasiyachena Sanyasi Ragana. He saw all the sannyasis are assembled there and they are all seated there. Sabha Namaskari Gela Pada Prakshalane. He offered respects to all of them and he went and washed his feet. Pada Prakshalane. Pada Prakshalan Kari Vasila Seistane. After washing his feet, he sat down in the same place there. Vasiya Karila Kichu Aishwarya Prakasha. After sitting there, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu expanded his internal potency. Maha Tejomaya Vapu Koti Surya Abasha. His body became so effulgent like crores of suns. That effulgence came out of his body. Prabhave Akarshila Sabha Sanyasi Ramana. That effulgence attracted all the sannyasis' mind towards Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's personality. Utila Sanyasi Sabha Chadiya Asana. They all got up, leaving their sitting places. Prakashananda Name Sarva Sanyasira Pradana. He is in charge of all the sannyasis. Prakashananda Nama. Prabhu ke kahila kichu kariya samana. Giving respect to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he began to speak. Ihan Aisha, Sunaha Sripada. Oh my dear sir, please come here. Please come here. Apavitra Stane Vaisha Kiba Avasada. Why are you sitting in this contaminated place where we wash our feet? That's a contamination place. So why are you sitting there and why are you lamenting? Prabhu kahe, Ami hoi hina sampradaya. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu represented himself as lower sampradaya. Tomara sabara sabaya vashite na yuyaya. I am not qualified to be in your association. Like in sannyasis also there are different grades who accepted in different sampradayas, Saraswati, then Bharati, there are different grades in that. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu belonged to the second grade. The first grade is Saraswati, the second grade is Bharati. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, you are first class, I am second class. I am not qualified to be with you people. Apane Prakashananda hatete dariya, Vashaila Sabha Madhye Sammana Kariya. So Prakashananda gave him respect, took him and made him sit in front of all the group, in between the group, like in a centralized position. Puchila Tomara Nama, Sri Krishna Chaitanya. We heard that your name is Sri Krishna Chaitanya. Keshava Bharati Rashishya Taratumi Danya. So you are the disciple of Keshava Bharati and therefore you are glorious. Sampradayika Sannyasi Tumi Raha Yei Grame Ki Karane Ama Sabara Na Kare Darshane. And you are a Sampradayik Sannyasi, you are staying in our own village and you don't come and meet us. What is the reason for this? You don't associate with us. Sannyasi hoya kara nartana gayana bavuka sabha sange lana kara sankirtana. So being a sannyasi, you are chanting and dancing, then engaging in the people of bavuka sange, in the people of fanatics, kara sankirtana, you are chanting and dancing and you are going around in the group of fanatics. Why are you doing like this? Vedanta patana dhyana sannyasira dharma. You have to study Vedanta and meditate on the Lord. This is the duty of a sannyasi. Taha chadi kara kena bhavukera karma. Why are you acting like a crazy fellow? Bhavuka means those who are ecstatic or fanatics. Prabhave dekiya toma sakshat Narayana. By your effulgence I can understand you are the Supreme Lord Narayana. Hina achara kare kene ite ki karana. Why are you performing some low grade activities? What is the reason behind it? Prabhu kahe suna Sripada ihara karana. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, please hear the reason for this. Guru Mora Murka Deki Karila Shashan. My Guru Maharaj saw me as an insignificant fool. And he gave me this instruction. Murka Tumi Tomara Nahika Vedantera Adhikara. He said, you are a foolish person and you don't have authority on reading Vedanta. Krishna Mantra Japa Sada Ei Mantra Sara. And this is the essence of reading all the Vedanta is to chant the holy name of the Lord. This is instruction for you. Nama Vinu Kalikale Nahi Aradharma. So there is no other opportunity than holy name of the Lord in this Kali Yuga. Sarva Mantra Saranama Ei Shastra Marma. And this is the confidential message of all the Shastras that Hare Krishna Mahamantra is the essence of all Vedic literatures. Rugveda Ata Yajurvedaha Samavedo Atarvanaha Adita Stena Yonoktam Harir Iti Aksharadvayam. So a person, one who chants the holy name of Hari, actually has already studied all the four Vedas. So if you study the four Vedas, the essence is you have to chant the holy name of Hari, the two-syllable Hari. Krishna mantra hoite habe samsara mochana. If you want to deliverance from this material world, only Krishna mantra is the only opportunity. Krishna nama hoite pabe Krishnera charana. And when you get delivered from this material world, you get shelter at the lotus feet of the Lord by chanting this holy name. Nama vinu kalikale nahi aradharma. Sarva mantra saranama ei shastra marma. I think this sloka got repeated. Okay. Then eta boli eka shloka shikaila more kante kari ei shloka kariha vichare. So he taught me one sloka and he had asked me to wear it like a necklace around my neck. Always this mantra I have to recite. What is it? Hare Nama, Hare Nama, Hare Nama iva kevalam kalo nasteva 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 gatiranyada. So for advancement in this age of Kali, there is no alternative, there is no alternative, there is no alternative than chanting the holy name, holy name, holy name of the Lord. Yei Ajnapana Nama Lainu Anukshana. By receiving this order, I am chanting the holy name. Nama Laite Laite Mora Branta Hailamana. I am becoming more and more bewildered when I started chanting this holy name. Dhairya dharite nari hailama unmatta. I am becoming ecstatic, crazy. I am not having patience. Hasi kandi nache gayi yaiche madamatta. As if I am intoxicated, I am chanting, dancing, I am in ecstasy. I am not knowing why about my external body, what is happening outside also. Tabe dhairya dhari mane karilun vichara. Then I became little patient and I started contemplating in my mind, what is this? Krishna nama jnana achanna hoila amara. The chanting of the holy name of Krishna has covered all my spiritual knowledge. Pagala haila nami dhairya nahi mane. Eta chinti nivedilin guruna charne. I became mad. I did not know what is what. So I went to my spiritual master and I offered my respects. And I communicated to him what I am going through. Kiba mantra dila goshani, kiba tara bala. What mantra you gave me, my dear sir? And what is the potential of this mantra? Japite japite mantra karila pagala. By chanting, I am becoming mad. Hasaya nachaya more karaya krandana. It is making me laugh. It is making me dance. It is making me cry. Eta suni guru hasi bolila vachana. By hearing this, my guru started laughing and he started speaking to me. Krishna nama mahamantrera eita svabhava. This is the characteristics of holy name of Lord Krishna. Yei jape tara krishna upajhaya bhava. So those who chant, they become to the stage of loving ecstasy. Krishna Vishayaka Prema Parama Purushartha Yara Age Truna Tulya Chari Purushartha. So the chanting of the holy name is the highest form, Prema Pumartho Mahan. In front of it, all the other four Purusha, Dharma, Artha, Kama, Moksha are insignificant like a blade of grass. Panchama Purushartha Prema Ananda Amrita Sindhu Moksha di Ananda Yara Nahe Ekubindu. If you take liberation, is only one drop in front of this love of Godhead. Krishna Namera Phala Prema Sarva Shastre Kaya. The essence of all the Shastras is to chant the holy name and to come ecstatic in love. This is the result of chanting the holy name. This is the Phala, Krishna Prema. Bhagya se Prema Tomaya Karila Udaya. And by fortunate thing, that love of Godhead has awakened within you. Premera Swabhava Kare Chitta Tanu Shobha Krishnera Charana Praptye Upajaya Loba. So it is a characteristic of this love that by nature it induces transcendental symptoms in one's body and makes one more and more greedy to achieve the shelter of lotus feet of the Lord. Premara Swabhava Bhakte Hase Kande Gaya Unmatta Hoye Nache Iti Uti Daya. So when he becomes ecstatic, he chants, dances, he runs here and there. He does not know his external situations. Bala Hoila Paila Tumi Parama Purusharda Tomara Premete Amilin. Ami Hoilin Krutada. Because you have achieved this highest thing, my life has become glorious. Nacho Gavo Bhakta Sange Kara Sankirtana Krishna Nam Upadeshi Tara Sarvajana. So this is the instruction what I received. Nacho Gavo, chant and dance. Bhakta Sange, in the association of devotees. Kare Sankirtana, do Sankirtana. Krishna Nama Upadeshi, preach to people about this Krishna Nama. Tara Sarvajana, then liberate all these people by preaching this holy name. Eta boli eka shloka shikaila more bhagavatera saraye bole varavar. He said, this is that one shloka which is the essence of Srimad Bhagavatam. Evam brata swapriya nama kirtya jatanurago drutachitta uchai hasati ato rodati rauti ghayati unmadavan nrutyati loka bahyaha. So, evam brataha jatanuragaha. So when a person is advanced and takes pleasure in chanting the holy name of the Lord, jata anuragaha, this loving affection is generated within him. Swapriya nama kirtya, which is very dear to the Lord, and by druta chitta uche, by agitated and loudly chanting this holy name, hasati ato rodati rauti gayati, he laughs, he cries, he becomes agitated and he chants. Nrutyati loka bahyaha, he dances without considering to external people. Like a madman, he starts dancing. This is the essence of chanting the holy name. And this is the essence of reading Srimad Bhagavatam. We should come to that stage. Eitandra Vakya Ami Druda Vishwashadari. So I have most confidence in his instruction. Nirantara Krishna Nama Sankirtan Kari. With that instruction, I had performed Krishna Nama Sankirtana constantly. Say Krishna Nama Kabu Gayaya Nachaya. Gahi Nachi Nahi Ami Apana Ichaya. It is not that I chant and dance of my will. That Krishna Nama is making me chant and dance. It is not that I am intentionally trying to do. That Nama is so ecstatic, it is making me chant and dance. Krishna Nama ye Ananda Sindhu Aswadana Brahmananda Tara Age Katodaka Sama. The ocean of chanting this holy name is, the result of chanting this holy name is an ocean. The happiness what we derive in this Brahmananda is a drop. Now you decide, you want a drop or you want the ocean. Vat sakshat karana ahlada vishuddhabdi sitasya me sukani goshpadayante brahmani api jagadguru. O my dear Lord, O Master of the universe, Tvat sakshat, I have directly have your darshan. Karana ahlada vishuddhabdi stitasya me. My transcendental bliss has taken the shape of a great ocean. Now being situated, I realize Brahmana api, the so-called happiness through other process of like Brahman realization and all. Sukani goshpadayante, it is like the happiness in the calf's hoof. So the happiness what I derived is an ocean. In spiritual life, the happiness what I derive in impersonal Brahman is like a water in the calf hoof. So in that way, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu enumerated the glories of the essence of Vedic knowledge is to chant the holy name of the Lord. So all the demigods also pray to the Brahma because he is the one who is directing. He is the Sampradaya Acharya. So it is one more duty whenever we approach a supreme person, instead of communicating the direct requirement, first glorify him by his attributes and qualities which are genuine. We should not artificially fake something. So demigods were genuinely glorifying Brahma for his position and qualities. So now they could understand Brahma's position. In the next verses and all, they request what they want from Brahma. So in that way, they are setting an example how prayers has to be offered to superior personalities and how one has to glorify superior personalities in truth, not by fake. So I'll stop here. Any questions or doubts? ग्रंथराज श्रीमद् भागवतम की जगत गुरु शिल प्रभुपाद की निताय गौर प्रेमानंद.
టెంపుల్ వారి మరో అపురూప కానుక హరే కృష్ణవాణి ఆధ్యాత్మిక మాసపత్రిక. ఇప్పుడు మొబైల్ యాప్ ద్వారా కూడా సులభంగా పత్రికలు చదువుకునే సౌకర్యం, వార్షిక సభ్యత్వం, భగవద్గీత, భాగవత ప్రవచనాలు, స్ఫూర్తి సందేశాలు, ఇంకా మరెన్నో సదుపాయాలతో హరే కృష్ణవాణి మొబైల్ యాప్ నేడే డౌన్లోడ్ చేసుకోండి. మరిన్ని వివరాల కోసం కాల్ చేయండి 913310